The first thing we'll do is we'll look at the trigger Daniel Defense gives you that just comes straight from the factory. In my opinion, like I said, is probably arguably the worst trigger they possibly could have given you. It is, in my opinion, like a 2-stage trigger. There's a little bit of a wall, then you hit the wall there, pull through it. It's like a 5 or 6 pound brake with a pretty long reset. Let's do it again. So there's your first wall right there, a few millimeters of play, and then pull through it like 5 or 6 pounds, and then you have that extremely long reset. Moving on to the safety, it just doesn't have any sort of tactileness or click to it whenever you actuate it on and off safe. It has a lot of slop in it, and it just feels really mushy. And then the safety itself is, in my opinion, way too long. I think Daniel Defense definitely needs to redevelop the safety they use in the majority of their firearms. And then whenever I'm firing, because of how long the safety is, you can see it driving into my trigger finger right there. Overall, for how much Daniel Defense charges for their firearms, I think they can at least do the courtesy of giving a better safety and a better trigger. But I know what you're thinking. They did make it to where it does accept AR-15 trigger packs, and you can replace the safety with one you do prefer. But you do have to put it into the perspective of the gun itself is already extremely overpriced. To put a decent trigger and a decent safety in here is at least another couple $100 on top of that. That's my biggest complaint with Daniel Defense is I love their products, but the trigger and safety they give you is just complete garbage. And then the charging handle, I have no complaints about the charging handle. I've used it actually in a couple of my other rifles voluntarily. I have no complaints on it. I maybe would just want the wings to be a little bit bigger. Outside of that, the texturing is nice, and like I said, it's ambi, so overall a solid charging handle. But this one is proprietary, you can't change it, so if you don't like the Daniel Defense charging handle, womp womp, you can't exchange it with a new one. And then like I said, I am not a fan of this ambi bolt design. In my opinion, it's arguably the worst one, and that's strictly coming from the perspective of a righty. The only ideal use for this for a righty is if you'd want to lock the bolt back, say during a malfunction. All you have to do is literally pull the charging handle, push down on the bolt lock like that, and you're good. But if you want to use it during reloads to send the bolt home using it, depending on your hand size, you actually have to break your grip on the pistol grip like that to be able to actuate it, which isn't ideal for me personally. But like I said, it's really great for clearing malfunctions, but I hope you don't have to be clearing malfunctions out of your firearm consistently. That wouldn't be good, but that's not the case for this PCC. 2,700 rounds strong with only one failure to feed. That's pretty good.